Welcome to the good old podcast, Mr. Sunday OJ himself, and that's
Wow.
my bad. I
Damn.
gotta claim something. Nah, it's just Sunday OJ featuring OG Weezy, big screen.
He
Um,
said, Mr.
Little,
Mr.
little scream, man. I'm 1 and 2. Little scream.
Man,
hey,
you
hey,
stink.
hey. Just
We
damn,
tied. Wait a minute. How you talking? So left you on
I ain't
three.
gonna lie. Yeah, I was about to say I seen Solo beat you. I was watching the stream
He
and I
left
seen
you on
Solo was.
three. Why you
Hey,
talking crazy to
hey,
me? I ain't even do nothing to you. Wait a minute.
bro, listen. I just sometimes I feel like certain people pay for other people, bro.
He's
That's all
your bet.
Oh, you
that's all I'm
pulling
gonna
the
say,
owls
bro.
out already?
They,
Whew.
they, they put on the ring and boom.
Oh, you know what?
That's all I'm gonna say, bro.
Nah. You said it. You gotta speak it now. Don't do that. So who's playing for who?
I just feel like certain people pay for certain people, especially to be able to even admit it in general chat, bro. To even be admit.
Wait, I don't know what's going on. I'm not in the chat, so you're gonna have to fill me in a little bit.
You was in the
So
chat when it happened.
I'm gonna need you to come back to the chat.
Yeah, you gotta bet the honor, and we pressing you about it every single week. Big
You
Fitz.
gave me a
I,
word
I,
to
I
Fitz.
spoke I spoke to Fitz about that. I need a little time. I need a little
So
time.
keep your word.
No, I will. It's just not the time right now.
Let
Yeah,
me
so
guess.
I didn't. You know what? I never spoke to you guys off the air, so I'll have to do that after this. But
You said that last time.
yeah, I totally forgot. I be
Life be
on the
happening,
move
man. It
now.
was Thanksgiving
Sh-
and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll probably be playing Call of Duty. Like motherfuckers be blowing me up in the chat. I heard, but
Yeah,
Bro,
you a
you know,
bird.
try
Come
try easy
outside,
blue.
level 67. Come
Try easy blue
outside.
to spot up, bro.
you know what's crazy though? I don't I play probably like 45 minutes, 30 minutes. But my son actually play more than me. He likes the game. But we went off topic. Who is playing for who?
Just saying, man. I'm political right now. I'm just saying. I
Who
gotta
who
get
who
more of my
who,
gotta get
who
more of
do you
my
think is
wait.
playing for who?
I gotta get more of my paper together before I present it to the class. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, okay. But so for now, Solo's your daddy.
No.
I'm just saying. How many times you beat him this season? One
That's a
time?
good one. What we're not gonna do is talk about solo for the next hour, so you're gonna skip that
Nah,
conversation
we
right
not, we not,
now.
we
Hey,
not, we not. I'm just mad you keep losing to him because
He
he's saying that
toxic
he
for
should be
that.
above you in the power ranking. Nah, I am mad
bro,
he keeps losing to him.
that's
For
really.
real.
I guess. Well, can I be a Fitsky and say when it matters I beat him because I made it to the
Wait, so
playoffs? That can,
let me ask you a question though. So if there's a
what's that?
power ranking came out today, should he be ahead of you?
Oh my god, he not no. You know why I'm gonna say that? Ask me why.
Why? Why?
Well,
Why you
you
think
know
you
what?
know?
You know what? OG, I don't even say ask me why. It's common sense why I'm gonna say no. You know why?
No,
Say
I
why.
really don't. No, I really don't know.
Come on. Well, Keith, you tell him why I'm gonna say no. Tell him why.
I don't know. I mean, if you want to go off
It's
the
common.
league, I mean, if you want to go off
Go
the
ahead.
league in its early stages, I mean, you got a division winning. He don't. I mean, I guess, but you
Thank you.
know,
That's all. Thank you.
but you,
I
But
just
but you
give
know,
you.
but
but you know,
but
last year
but
was
There's
he
step
no
B
beating
but
for
you
you
to it. There's
though.
no but to it. You said
But
what?
head to
he's
head,
beating you.
but head to head, he's up on you though, 3-1, or 4-1 actually. Excuse me. So he got a point.
Yes, 41. That's. I mean, I
I
get
mean,
that's
that
fine
that
too.
factors
But
in though. You
wait.
think about it.
So all right. So okay.
At
Matter
least
of fact,
solo,
Tim,
at least solo ain't cheesy.
no, I'm not saying that. So I get your side,
He
Keith.
just said somebody
Hold
playing for him. But
on, OG,
yeah,
let me talk. So Keith, I get your option A, and my option B is if he's never been over 500, never been to the playoffs. How can he be? Now I be like, so the way
Because
I'm
you
saying it,
can't
if you
beat him
said
more than
that,
he beats you. It's not the
uh,
record. It's the fact that he's like your kryptonite. I guess is what OG trying to say.
he's his
So when
daddy. He's his
somebody,
daddy.
so I ain't saying all
go
that. That's
ahead.
weird. But when somebody's your kryptonite, you know, and we mentioned Boho earlier in the Game of the Week podcast. Shout out to Boho, man. Like Boho, my kryptonite. You know, I beat Boho a couple times, but it was on shit that never mattered. You know what I'm saying? So
Don't give that man no credit. Shout out to Boho, but don't give that man no credit.
I mean, bro, that
I ain't
shit
gonna
years
nah
ago,
nah
man. We
nah.
don't play. We don't
Let me
talk so
be
much.
honest.
Okay.
Nah.
Well, matter
I'm
of
gonna be
fact,
honest.
listen, I'm gonna say how you guys picking and choosing. So I'm gonna use OG for example. So if OG can never could be Mad Blotter or I
Oh, you
Need
bugging.
Money
You
or whatever the
Why
wildin'.
fuck.
you
You
had to
wildin'.
use
You
the
wildin'.
weakest of
No, I'm
weak
just
to
saying.
I
as
No,
beat
that
step
those
mean
B? I
that.
guys. I
guess.
beat those guys. They was never ahead of me on the joint. Don't do that. Do not do that. It's Solo. See,
Mad,
no,
mad.
I'm just saying that there was a text flowing around that Solo said he deserved to be on the power ranking ahead of you because he's better than you. So all I was asking, I mean, he's proven it this year, which is
So
unfortunate.
listen, so OG, so let me finish. So listen, if somebody keep beating you, somebody beats you 4 times out of 5, but you went to the playoffs, you think they should be ranked over you? Be honest.
Uh,
That's what I'm
that's like
saying.
yeah.
I mean,
Me and
No, OG,
Smitty was
don't
ranked.
put me into it. I'm just saying right now.
No,
If
I'll go give you.
matter of fact, let me talk. I mean, like this: the
I'm gonna
Cowboys.
say the head to
The
head
Cow-
matter only because if you got 0 playoff wins, did you really go to the playoffs?
I won a division.
Oh.
Keith. I get what you're saying too.
No,
I'm
but
not
but see,
knocking you. Keith, I
but I'm
feel
not.
you. I'm not
But I'm
mad.
not. But here's the thing: I'm not coming for you. I'm saying it in a general statement because
I
there
know
are
you're
other
not.
people. There are other people who have 0 playoff wins that have made the playoffs both years and still at 0.
That's
So,
that's true.
Woo, woo.
Uh,
I mean, I'm not being petty when I say it. Smitty went both times, didn't win, unfortunately. Ran into a brick wall both times and made it.
But you can still put him ahead of like what's
I'm
his name?
putting
A
Smitty.
Robinson.
I'm putting Smitty top 14, top 12 without question. Like he's definitely there. I mean, 10 is a
Yeah,
stretch right now because
I'm saying like ahead of Robinson. Let's say Robinson had his
oh,
number.
Robinson stinks.
yeah,
No,
like
I'm
Robinson
saying
doesn't got
let's,
his
I'm
number.
probably
So
I'm
okay,
probably top 20, but I ain't even top 16. I ain't made playoffs
yo,
yet.
but
you made
time
a
out, but
championship.
time out, but time out, 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 time out. You only went to the playoff once though, and it's looking like you gonna miss it again. So I mean,
But I
and you had
still
a
went,
bad
and I won
first
a
year,
division, and I wasn't wild card or I wasn't seven
and
seed.
he
You
was
No
ahead of
got
you
disrespect.
the
you
No
first
got
disrespect.
year.
Somebody
you
who
got
won seven.
He was
handed
ahead of
you
you the
got
first
handed
year.
some wins though.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, that's
my!
facts
But
too.
I
That's
won with
facts. That's
Keith. I
facts.
won six. Keith, I won 5 straight. You lost 5 straight. Don't do that.
I lost 4. You keep running with that 5
My
narrative. It
bad.
was
I keep
4,
saying
bro.
5. My bad.
It was
My
4.
bad.
He
It was
lost. He
4,
lost
bro.
5 out of
Actually,
6. 5 out of 6. 5 out of
Thank
6.
you,
yeah,
thank
you
you,
lost
OG.
5 out of
Get it
6.
correct. If you're gonna talk about it, just be correct. That's all I ever care about.
Well, I
You
wasn't
know, my
trying to
thing
be
is
like give you extra
consistency.
loss. It was an accident. It's okay,
No,
Keith.
I mean,
I got
bro.
the
I
number
mean, at the
wrong.
end of the
Like I
day,
won.
Yeah.
bro. Though, I mean,
Uh,
so when I look back at my losing streak last season and my collapse, 3 of the games was completely my fault. The other 3, I just sucked really bad. Like versus you was my fault. Versus Greg was my fault. T Hoy, I kind of sort of just couldn't figure out how to stop that damn jumping shit. I know now, but then yeah, I couldn't figure it out.
mhm.
But
So
So
yeah.
so okay. Let me ask you guys a question. Don't put a use into it. Just let me just go with the flow. Okay. If the Chiefs go to the playoffs 2 years, Chiefs went to the playoffs last year, but he can't beat the Raiders.
Nah,
You
you
think the
know you
Raiders
can
is better than the Chiefs?
you got to put user into it though.
You can't. I'm
It's
just
different it's kind of different in real life. Well, because it's a video game, so a person saying that they're better than you and believe they belong on the power ranking ahead of you as a user playing games. I'm talking about.
mhm,
I think that's a correct statement because if you can't beat
mhm,
somebody, if the number of wins it's really high, like he beat you 4 times,
mhm,
the head to head matchup is like very different. So he could actually say, "Hey, I'm better than Weezy," because it's so
mhm,
different, and he could run with that. Not just because you made the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean he's not better than you.
mhm.
I'm just saying, like
I'm letting
I'm
you
not.
talk, bro. I'm not saying
You know
you
what?
wrong. I'm not going crazy.
I feel. You know what? I feel bad because he's gonna run into the chat, right? He's gonna say, "I'm better than Weezy." I'm just gonna start something.
nah, better yet,
He's
we
not.
can put users on it. I'm about to be petty right quick because I feel like this is
See,
gonna
keep
make some
trying to be
sense.
petty. I'm not
No,
being.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
bro, I don't
No,
because
I
I
wasn't
don't
trying to be
care.
petty. I
I'm
was just
real, so I don't care how nobody feel about it. This is a raw, real podcast, right? So let's ask a real question, and let's be funny
raw
about it. Let's look at
dog.
last year playoffs, right? Okay, so Omega made the playoffs last year. Does that
And
mean he
he
up there
what he
with
taking?
you? But okay, neither did you. But is he up there with you? Even though you beat him,
Yeah, I'm
he
listening.
won.
I'm just.
He won
You know what's
almost the
funny?
same amount of games as you. He went to the
Not
playoffs
Hey,
and lost first
somebody should
round
break it
just
up.
like
Hold on.
you. So I'm not even being funny. Like
not even to troll. I think he'll be ahead of him in the power rankings. Not I'm not even trying to play Weezy nothing, but
What'd you
Omega's
say? I didn't
had
hear what you said. What'd you say? Because it broke up.
oh,
What did you say? I didn't hear nothing you said.
Omega's division is I believe is kind of it's harder. Omega's division is harder. Um,
Then ours?
yeah,
How?
Itchy,
I
and
think it's
T-Hoy.
definitely harder, bro. T Hoy and Itchy are harder than me and Greg and you.
So
We can put that there. Like
who,
truth be
who,
told,
who they got? Who they other
SJM is
user
their
they
fourth
got?
person. SJM is their fourth person.
No, hell no.
losing,
On
he
that
was,
note, hell no. On that
he
note.
was
Okay,
he was
so no,
losing
so you doing
purposely,
that
too.
right? So you taking SJM or you taking CJ? CJ being solo.
Ooh.
Since you
I
saying
think
hell
we just
nah,
put him already. Listen, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna have to.
that ain't what I asked you.
I'm gonna go with the
You don't want to
Jets.
answer that because it's gonna
No,
fuck him up.
I ain't gonna answer that. I ain't gonna answer that. Next. Next.
Ladies and gentlemen, he has conceded.
Let's get this conversation and get to the main. What's on my back? I have something that I want to bring to the room that I was holding off for a lot of days. What's pausing?
You said what's on your back. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's
Go
been on
ahead.
my back because I've been
Yo,
kind of like to chill out today. And
Like the
like
blue
today, I
toy?
was mad busy at work. Listen. I worked
Blue
fucking
toy?
13. Let me talk, bro. Listen, I worked a 13-hour shift today, and I just got off work, so I'm mad.
Your
Musty.
body stink. Yeah, your body.
I know,
stink.
nigga. I know. No, it don't stink for him. I got secret and deodorant. But listen, anyway, and we got a shower now.
Wait. You
our
put
job.
2 different deodorants on?
You don't?
You put one, then put another?
No, I'm just saying I got 2 different types like in my locker. Like I got
I
secret
was
or
like,
Dove.
what the fuck?
So listen. So the other day, like I'm not gonna say, you know something I noticed. Sometimes I read back in the chat when I'm laying down, rubbing my feet together. And when I say y'all people, it's not the whole chat. It's just certain people that say shit, and it just make me feel some type of way. And I really can't say the whole age just because everybody's not saying it. It's just a couple people. Like what I'm getting
So
to
you
is
got to put a name on it.
I'm about to get to it.
Okay.
You always want a name because you're not in the chat no more. Fucking damn. Anyway, so I'm also talking about Keith too. I'm not mad at him, but I'm saying like you said put a name on it. So Keith, I already know Keith's gonna talk because he's gonna talk about him. They said that the TC was biased.
How biased though?
Keith, what did y'all say was biased exactly before I said the wrong stuff?
I mean, I have a differing opinion from what
That shit breaking up too bad tonight.
Popeye has. Well, getting better service off your damn phone. I just
Get
think
you a
that,
CPU, motherfucker.
I just think that sometimes the trades are not consistent. I think everybody definitely brings their own value to the table with the TC, and that never is to be shamed against. It's just that when you look at some trades versus others, you can tell that sometimes the users involved, the bias goes against how good or bad they may be. Sometimes, not all the time, just sometimes. That's all.
That's all you had to say?
Yeah, that was my piece on it. I don't have no other issues with TC. I just like consistency. So when it's not consistent, then I'd be like, damn, y'all inconsistent as fuck. I say it all the time though.
Okay. So it's been 77 trades total in the league.
Oh, my man.
Do you know how many got
research.
denied?
27.
Not even close to 27.
I think it's less than 10.
It's less than 10.
It's
been denied.
definitely less than 10. And we not gonna account the Omega thing that to address that because OG don't know. Omega put like 4 of the same trade in, not knowing he had no trades left. So that does not count as 4. It counts as 1. That's just 1 trade that got denied because he should have known how many trades he had. So yeah.
So the only trade that got denied, JaVale Chiefs with Smitty, JaVale and the Texans. JaVale with the Steelers.
Oh damn, Val's been up there a lot, huh?
But you see there's a consistent person there. And some of these trades weren't even bad, but you know.
Itchy with the Bengals. I mean Itchy with the Bills.
So
let me hold on. So how many is that so far?
That was 5, I think.
5 or 4?
That was the third one, actually. I'm
No, he said Val 3 times and then he said Itchy.
Because he's stuttering.
No, it was Bell 3 times and Itchy. Okay, so that's 4. Texans again with Ravens, 5. That's 5.
Stutter.
Chargers and Texans, that's 6. Vikings and Raiders, that's 7.
Then Chiefs and Falcons the first time. Chiefs and Falcons the first time is 8. Chiefs and Falcons the second time is 9.
So wait. Instead of going this long and prolonging this shit.
No, it's over now. No, it's over.
Hold up.
It was only
what
9.
made what made these people create this comment that you guys were biased? Like what happened that the comment came alive?
I think what happened because I think Mr. Know It All said something slick again. What did he said something? Oh,
You the
what
one that
did he
got the
bring the
beef,
mic?
so I don't know what he said.
I think he brought up the MyCaddy situation again and talk. Oh, he brought up the MyCaddy situation again because keep saying free MyCaddy from trades, which I felt like is corny because when he first got suspended, he wasn't saying free caddy then. He's only saying free caddy now because he wanted to trade. See what I'm saying? It's like people do shit that benefits them. When he first got suspended, he didn't give a fuck about MyCaddy being suspended. Till now, he wanted to do a trade. So now he was worrying about it. Anyway, so what happened was he said that he brought up how he felt like the TC was doing too much favoritism or bias and shit, but like nobody being biased about the trades. If anything, only person should be saying that is probably JaVale. And JaVale didn't even say that. But the reason why JaVale trades are getting denied, now I'm looking at it from my point of view of me just guessing without actually looking at the trades. Everybody he want to trade is new users. So we
Yeah.
know we know why he doing it. I mean, if you don't know why, I know why he doing it. He doing it because they're new.
Finesse.
They think he trying to finesse. Not like he trading. So then the kids say you put names on it, but it's not like he trying to trade. It's not like we denying trades with him and Trent. It's like he trying to trade all the new people. So they like no. The reason why we said no to the Falcons trade and I say we is because I am TC. The first two trades, like I said in general, so no, I'm not being fake or talking, or like I said in general, I wasn't around for the trades when they got denied the first 2 times. When I read in the TC chat, Mr. Know It All, who was loud and wrong, they said no. The reason why they said no is because they didn't want Falcons a new user to trade away his best player, best asset, which is Kyle Pitts. Not because people was being biased or because it's JaVale. Had shit to do with JaVale. Had shit to do
So
with the other
can I
users.
ask a serious question? Because this is where the bias comes in. Is Kyle Pitts the best player because of overall or because y'all said so?
Now that's a good question that we didn't.
Because just because somebody's high rated overall don't mean that's somebody's best player at all. Obviously, if you dangling somebody out there that you don't want, doesn't mean you value them as high as somebody else might. So that's all. It ain't about the Pitts thing. It's for any team, by the way.
That's still a tough situation. I've been in TC. I was in there. I was running it too. TC is definitely hard because it's like 5 people and there's 5 different opinions and 5 different people that value different things. Like when I was in there, people beef with me because I valued picks very high. Like first round picks to me was very valuable, and I will have a big back and forths with that. Like, and then you have somebody else who'll value linemen very high. You have somebody else who value cornerbacks very high, quarterbacks. Like it's just a different. It's like a lot of different angles, and then everybody just has to kind of come to agree. And it kind of tough. And as for bias, I don't see that because I see where you guys coming from with somebody trading new users, and that's tough because as far as new users, we don't know what's gonna go behind that wall after a year. So you have to kind of contain that, which they've been doing a very good job of, and I don't think I don't think it's a personal thing. I think it's just it's more so for the league, and that's what people have to understand that when they get denied, it doesn't mean it's personal because sometimes it'd be for the league because you have to protect the league and protect the teams because if the users happen to leave or a user happen to get kicked, then what happens? You have a team that you can't fill because the team is there's nothing there. So I
I
believe
get that.
so
So
they've been doing a good job of that.
out of 77 trades, 9 got denied. So the 68 that got approved, and 4 came from JaVale. So it's like, where's
But
the
you gotta
bias?
understand something. It's not what you're trying to do is deflect from the situation. It's not
You,
about the
you're not letting me
number.
finish.
The number doesn't matter though. You're trying to make the numbers matter. It's not about the numbers. When
You're
certain
not letting me.
things, it's not about the numbers though, bro. You're making it about the
I know, but
numbers.
I ain't finishing my sentences. Like, go ahead. I'm saying I'm not finishing, but go ahead. I'm not. Every time I want to finish, y'all got a good response because I'm not. I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Just let me finish.
I just think the number of denies is not where the inconsistency come from. It's just like certain trades just sometimes
Just
even the approved trades have lack of consistency is all I'm saying. So even
I
like
just
the
feel
AO
like
trade, like the AO
go
and
ahead.
J trade was not consistent with the first round pick with a X factor linebacker. Come on, bro. Like in the past, y'all have
And
not
what the
allowed
thing
stuff like that.
And
That's
what the
where it's
thing
like, all
is,
right, some stuff is
like,
just off balance in certain ways to, like you said, benefit certain people. So that's all.
and it's 5 of us, and I'm happy that you taught the league, and you taught the league, and you told the league that you can see what users approve it. Sometimes it could be a 3 straight win, and two other people didn't get a chance to vote yet, or it could be 2-2, and somebody got to swing a vote. Like a lot of the trades that got denied or approved went down to the last person. So when you say people we approving the stuff, what are three? You know what I'm saying? If 3 people didn't, it's 5 people total. If 3 people already vote, and let's say Carhard and Eagles didn't vote yet, that's not all TC. That's just the three users that approved that bad trade.
Yeah,
So it's
no,
not like
but you guys been doing a good job. I can admit you guys been doing a good job. There has been some questionable like, oh, why did I go
but that's
through? But
anything though. That's
no, no,
but
no,
even
no, no.
that's even
That's
real
what I was gonna
life.
say. No, no, I was gonna say that like there's not never 100%
Yeah,
consistency in anything. So like some things are gonna slip through the cracks, some things are gonna get denied that you feel upset. But for the most part, like y'all have been doing like a 75%, 80% like consistency rate to me. And y'all been doing a good job holding the lead together, not no letting nobody tarnish their team, especially with this 3 trades. I know y'all been yelling 5 trades and 4 trades, but with 3 trades, it
yeah,
also helps out TC because people be doing ridiculous shit. So, with that being said, like the 3 trades, it'll help TC keep a control of people having
yeah.
control of their team.
Like the
So,
Browns. The Browns wanted to trade his 4th trade, but okay. So Boz is like, we being petty, we keep denying the trade. So I get what Boz was saying, but I kind of find out that they denying the trade because he's stuck at 3. He can't do no more than 3, and I'm like, he can't do no more than 3. They're like, did you tell him? Why should we have to tell the grown man? He should look himself. And then I think about it. I get both sides. Sometimes you gotta sit back and stop replying so quick and think about it. He probably really didn't know he had 3 trades. But the other side, my brain is like, if I know how many trades you got, you should know you're a grown man. So it's like I get both sides, but it's like all you have to do yourself is look and Discord through the approved trade app. That's the way I see it. Like I always say,
spoiled.
read. OG said spoil. I'm like, read. They're
That
not
that
denying
that
it. He was like, we
that's
being
what
petty.
it is. I've been yelling this since day one. The
Like just
users are
read. Like
spoiled.
I know how many trades I got. I know I've never been there trying to do 4 or 5 trades. Now I'm gonna do extra trades for the picks on picks. But I know I'm already struck out my 3 trades, so I get that. But it's like, why should we have to tell him? He should know that himself. Nobody's being petty. I feel like we use the wrong word certain times. Like nobody's being biased. The only time we ever, since we've been doing TC this, man, the most we ever talked about any trade, because we have a TC channel when you approve the trade or you deny it. We have a channel when we want to talk. The most thing we ever talked about was the JaVale and Gary trade. Well, let me not, was the Chiefs and the Falcons trade, because I call them by the government. Other than that, we not in there fussing. Like
But
they
but
talk the
but
more
you
in.
you you shouldn't even have to explain what's going on in that TC chat first
Yeah,
of
let
all.
me
Like
finish. Like they talk
I'm
more.
just
They
saying what
talk
goes
more in
behind
general
there.
about what they assume, what we do, what we did, how we being biased more than what we talk. I'm like,
But
nobody doing.
that's what it's supposed to be. Just like what people assume what's going on in the committ's chat or what's being spoke
That's what
upon
I
or
was
not
saying.
being
I'm about
spoken.
to say that next. Like,
So this is why you should just say sometimes they gotta chalk it to the game. Like sometimes it's like take it to the chin
yeah,
and
and it's not
take
fair
the
and it's
L.
weird. And it's I feel like he's either gonna agree or not agree with what I'm about to say. But and what you're saying too, OG, like nothing is fair. Nothing in life makes sense because you have Calvin Ridley gets suspended for a whole year, but then you got a motherfucker out here getting his dick beat and he only suspended for 10 games. Like that don't equal up. That,
Huh? Wait,
First
that
what?
off,
don't
I'm
equal
mad.
up.
First off, I'm mad you said it like that.
I'm
Because
just saying, like
when you
it
have
don't
a
make
blue
sense.
toy to do all this stuff with. Secondly,
Chill. Like
that was my fault, right? I know. I'm sorry. It was there,
some
but
shit don't make
nah.
some shit don't
I
make
I
sense.
do agree with OG though. I mean, and I'm gonna address this out loud. I don't care who get mad because it's a trade you skipped that got denied, and
Well, I ain't get the finish. Like, oh, go ahead.
but you skipped the hell out of it. That's the reason why you ain't finished. You skipped
Or
it.
I probably missed the page. But go ahead.
You ain't
I
missed
want
no
to hear it.
pay. You ain't
Go
blind.
ahead.
It ain't that much
Go
fat.
ahead.
You know what? All right. So
Go ahead.
Bang was trying to trade with OG after the Super Bowl
Okay,
year
hold
one.
on.
And that's
Ooh.
kind of what caused Bang to leave the league, quote unquote. So
Okay.
I don't know the truth behind that or not, and I'm not gonna claim
Mm-hmm.
it's true. But the trade was a second round pick, running back Javonte Williams, who was star Dev in
Mhm.
23 at the time, and normal linebacker Nick Bonito, who was normal 23. And
Mhm.
OG was sending Derrick Henry, we have now seen bounce around to his
Like a hoe.
fourth
14?
team. Uh,
Uh-huh.
so at the end of the day, at that juncture, giving him to Bang wouldn't have really been a problem for him to bounce around anyway. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so I think at the end of the day,
To
I don't
that
know
though,
what Bang.
there was more to that.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, apparently, there was more to that, and he came in the chat saying,
Cause it's not even about being biased, but like it's also, and I also looked at it this way too. When you win a Super Bowl and you win anything kind of sort, it's like trading Trent, first round overall. It's like some things just it's like how Weezy hate I always say it, like the unwritten rule. Like certain things just be unwritten that you're not supposed to do, or some like it's like okay, nah, we can't let that go through because even if and it kind of didn't even make sense, but whatever, you know what I'm saying. But as for TC, I think you're doing a good job, and I
Appreciate
just
you.
wanna,
I
yeah,
just
y'all
don't
been
I,
doing
I
a good
just
job.
don't understand why do people want to keep creating new users? Like I don't understand
I
like
don't think
The
it's about
finesse,
I don't think it's about new users though, bro. It's about the team and what they have. It's not about the user. Like, okay, so when you mention power rankings and stuff, it's definitely about the user because it depends on what team they got, what position they in, how the division is, how easy. Like, all due respect to our guy JB, you're not gonna put JB that high on the power rankings because his
who
division's been easy.
who
JB, I'm slop.
The
oh
Eagles.
Yeah,
oh
You don't think so?
you're not gonna, bruh. He has one playoff win, more than my 0 and your 0. He been both years, but he can't beat Fitz in the playoffs. He's 0-2 versus Fitz in the playoffs, but 3-0 versus him in the regular season. He wins his division because his division isn't good. Unfortunately, the Giants suck. Not Moju's, just the Giants team is bad. And then IC with those Cowboys seemingly can't win more than 6 games a season.
What about Washington?
So, I mean, the new
Let's do
Commanders
Washington.
is 3-0, but OG was load up and play and you know easily frustrated by slopping the way he plays football. With all due respect, right? So you're not gonna put somebody like the Eagles user higher than dudes who are not only winning in playoffs but having harder divisions. That's part of that process because the user got a stacked team, a easy division. Why are you gonna rank him higher than somebody in a tougher division who beats tougher opponents? It's kind
Okay,
of like
so
saying if you had to rank Dunf, Rhino, me, you, and Greg, we all in tough divisions. We gonna get a little more brownie points because we play tougher competition. Whereas Slop is getting a cakewalk to the playoffs every year. You really gonna put him top 10 for walking to the playoffs for free every year?
okay, so now that the Broncos gone, you feel like Jarrell got a cakewalk now? I just want to
No, it's
confirm.
not.
'Cause,
It's not a cakewalk in the
I mean,
AFC
now
West.
but he got J
He's
Pack.
lost to Tryhard. Tryhard is right. Y'all act like Tryhard is trash. I don't understand that.
Mm.
Tryhard is not trash.
He ain't
he not
trash,
the
but
he not the
he ain't
greatest, but
top.
he's not trash.
He ain't.
well, I don't want to cut y'all, yeah, fellas short. I wanna we have
Bringing, I
I
guess.
just want to, yeah, I want to bring in our guest and tell everybody we have a very, 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 very special guest. He don't talk much in the Discord, but we invited him up and he wants to introduce himself. We got the lovely MyCaddy in the building. Can I get a round of applause?
Like I'm a bitch. What's up? But what's up?
What's
What's
up?
going on,
What's
brother?
up?
Hey, how y'all doing? First, since y'all was talking about trades, I do want to say I do think the trade commission did fuck me over, but we good though. I understand. I broke a
Hold
rule.
on, wait,
I,
wait.
I, I,
We
I
getting
broke a
straight to
rule.
it. We getting straight to it.
I should have got punished. I do understand I should have got punished. I just thought it was a bit excessive, but I get it. It is what it is. I accept it, and I just ain't gonna be able to trade till next year. But other than
I,
that, we
I
good.
I got a
We
question
got
about
straight
that though.
to it.
Whose fault was it though? Was it you that told him to send it in, or did he tell you it got approved? Like, what was the
The,
background
We got
story on that?
straight to it.
the discussion was, I actually we discussed it, we agreed on it, and I said send it to the trade committee. And then he said, okay. Next day he said send the trade. I sent it. I did not I
Ah,
will recognize it was my
Mm.
fault because I did not go and make sure that I didn't see it anywhere in the chat, and I should have made sure it was in the chat before I sent it. I didn't
Mm,
know it didn't get approved until I don't. Somebody hit me up and was like, I don't remember what happened, but basically, they said I shouldn't have did it, reverse the trade, and then, you
Uh,
know, and so I,
we,
I was already punished, and I was like, so it's my fault.
it's funny
So
because I kind of figured that though that it was Falcons. I told that, but
so listen. So wait,
without you
listen.
even
So
backing
wait,
yourself
wait,
and stuff.
listen. So MyCaddy, you got straight to the point. All right. So listen. I thought we should introduce you first and ask other questions. You got straight to it. So in our head in TC, and that's because JPack, he in his own commissioner chat. Me and him said the same thing. We never talked about your situation before. And TC, we all said the same thing. We said, even though you don't talk a lot, you're an OG. You one of the veterans. Like, even though you don't really, you're not that good of it. Like, you don't win a lot of games. You know the fucking rules. So like, you've been around enough that.
Why you gotta
No,
throw a
let me
shot
talk.
like
So
that?
no, let me talk. I'm just saying. So it's like, you. We was like, why would he do that? Now Falcons, he's brand new. But like you was like, come on, and like you're older, so we're like, okay, we know he know how to read. And what J-Pat said the same thing in general chat. He said he holds you, not Falcons, because he holds you to a different type of level of the league. That's why you got what you got. Now I'm gonna keep it real. Yes, this is a good time when they should have said, y'all motherfuckers are biased. That's a good time to say that. Because yes, we were towards you because we held you to a higher standard. Like we hold me to a higher standard, OG like that. We hold certain people, Fisky to a high. Like if Fisky would do that, he would get suspended too. Like we're not gonna let it slide. We will hold you to a higher standard because that's why J Pat said what he said even in general to you. He said, well, I don't know if he tagged you, but he said he held you to a higher standard. That's why they're not removing your trade ban because we held you to a higher standard. That's why.
Yeah, and I will say, like I said, I did feel like I know I did not go and look and verify that it was done. I should have been the one to go to the trade committee instead of just telling him to do it. I just didn't really want to do it. I was like, if they approve it, they approve it. If not,
Yeah,
forget it.
you did really, yeah. But that's why. That's right.
Well,
That
next
was my
time, man, provide that proof. Because we do trust you. I mean, they do trust you. So you should, if you'd have provided that proof to show, like, hey, he told me it was good to go. I mean, maybe it'd have been you still would have
you
got
should have
punished,
rolled
but
him
maybe
under the bus.
it'd have been lesser.
Fuck him. You
Yeah,
should
yeah.
fuck it. Or you don't know him. Fuck him, man. Also, it really looked bad once the shit was on Madden and y'all did it your own self. And listen, Falcon said, I don't give a fuck what y'all gotta say. He said he still sent the trade. He said he don't care what none of us had to say. So he made it look worse. You should have stepped in and said, hold on, player. But then he
Hold
was in
on,
general.
player.
He was in general talking shit. He was in
I
general
see.
talking shit like he
I,
don't care
I
what's
didn't see
approved.
him talking shit. I didn't see him talking shit at all.
Yeah, he
So
was
I
talking
mean, I
shit.
guess I probably just went in the chat and didn't see that. But like I said, when I realized that it didn't get approved, I knew I should have did my due diligence. I know that there's a channel just for that. I could have
Yeah.
easily went in the channel and seen it. Wasn't there because as far as I know, it's not like I make a lot of trades, but as far as I know, all the trades should be in there. And not
Mm-hmm.
seeing mine should have been a red flag to me before I sent it. So like I said, I feel like I do feel like I got punched. I just felt like it was a little excessive. That's all.
Hey,
Huh?
well, now that we got the trade gate out the way,
He got
I just
that
want
shit
to
straight out the gate.
I
God
would like
damn.
to first I want to commend you for playing with AGS all these years and sticking in through and throughout, even if you're losing or not. We
With
appreciate that
them
effort and
lions.
that
God damn with them lions.
hell
Clap
yeah.
it up. Clap it
Um
up.
it, a
Yeah.
lot of people in the chat don't know who MyCaddy is. If you want to explain and give us a little background about yourself, you could please do so. The mic is yours. The red carpet is out.
Oh well, I mean, in terms of AGS, I just been around for a couple years. I think I started in Madden 20. And this year I didn't get my favorite team. I'm originally from Michigan, and I'm a Lions fan, so that's why I like to get them. But somebody stole them from me this year, so I'm rolling with the Rams this year. Like I said, I just play Madden more for fun, kill time, because basically all I do is work and bring my ass home. So I don't, it's just something to do, and I basically show up, play my games, and need to pay more attention to trades and whatnot. But other than that, that's pretty much me.
So let me ask you a question. If you was a commissioner or if you had a say so or opinion, since you only play with like, the Lions and Mojo's only play with the Giants, do you feel like in AGS you should be always get the Lions? Or do you like the fact that you got to do all the stories and stuff, and you pick whatever team you get, or do you feel like you should be get to the Lions because you always play with them, and you feel like your grandfather then, or you don't really give a fuck?
I'm gonna say like this as a my honest opinion is I feel like if somebody is a real fan of the team, they're gonna um, take better care of the team. I'm sure we know that some people in just in video games in general will mess over a team, make dumb trades and whatnot that really don't make sense. But like if you like a team, and I will say another part of that though, sometimes you hold on to players that you shouldn't because you really like them in real life. But to answer the question directly, as a player, I feel like you should. How AGS is set up is pretty fair. Like if I was more active doing the videos I did early on, I would be higher up and be able to pick earlier, and it would be easy for me to get the Lions. Most people usually don't use the Lions, so it's not a big deal. But I think the person like Jameson Williams, because he had that speed. But to answer your question
Yeah.
directly, I think the way it's set up, it should be like that because although personally I do feel like you mentioned Mo Juice and myself, because we like our teams, they're not gonna get screwed over. We're not gonna make dumb trades and strip the team and do dumb stuff. But at the end of the day, it's fair for other people. Just because I like the Lions, it should be fair. Like if I did more work, I could be ranked higher and pick earlier and get whatever team I want. So it's the way it is now. It's how it should be, basically.
So is it like we know you don't, and there's no disrespect at all. We know you don't win too much. Is it tough to continue to play Madden, or is it still fun either way, whether you win or lose? But you have been getting better. I told you that we had played and you was doing your thing. You've gotten way better. Your defense, your offense. So like,
Yeah, he
is it
definitely got way better.
is it a goal for you to get better, or is it just something that you say I just want to play, get it over with? I don't care if I win or lose.
No, it's more. I really, honestly, when I'm playing, I'm trying to win. But at the end of the day, like I play and my wife play, and one thing I tell her is like, if you don't get in the lab and practice, you're not going to get better. And for me, if I practice more, I know I could get better. I have been better in madness. I've been in leagues where I was in the playoffs every year. I've actually played in the
Mhm.
Super Bowl, didn't win it, but I actually played in the Super Bowl in the 32-man league. But that was in like Madden 15. I haven't practiced at all basically since then, and I just show up and play my games, and it shows. Like my reaction time ain't how it should be, and I don't know if it's me getting older, but at the end of the day, I just um to answer your question, I'm not gonna say I don't care. I want to win. I mean, saying I don't care is saying like I'm trying to lose every time. That's not
Mhm.
it. Um, but it don't affect me. I have like a what I call a 5 minute rule. When the game is over, if I win, I'm happy for 5 minutes. If I lose, I'm not happy for 5 minutes, and it's over. I go back to real life.
Oh, I need to take that rule.
How many
but
leagues are you in, MyCaddy, besides AGS?
Two. I mean, one other than AGS. I'm in two total.
What team you
you
got over there?
oh, sorry.
Hold on, G.
Actually,
What's it? You said what?
the Rams, and trust me, it's not like I like the Rams. I don't. It's not even
You
a
got the
Stafford
Rams
connection
twice?
to Lane. Huh?
You got the Rams twice?
Yeah. It was not intentional because I got picked late in the other league, just like in AGS and the Rams. Were actually I picked like 30th in that league. I think in AGS I picked like 20th. In that league, I was literally like 30 or 31, and the Rams was just still available,
So
and
are
they
you
were
winning
just.
over there or are you losing?
My record this year, they're in week 15 in the second season, and my record is like 7-8. I think it's 7-8.
Oh, nice, nice. You
So
correct.
hold
Wait.
on.
Correct
So
me if I'm wrong. Oh, go ahead.
okay, so I see now we in years. What years did y'all, year 3 or year 4? What year is this?
Three.
Okay, so we're in year 3, and I see you still got like your core players a little bit to the old ones. How your team look over there? I see you got that rookie running back. You going crazy, that wide receiver. Like you still got the same as that players in year 2. Like you still got Stafford and Ramsey and Donald. You didn't trade nobody like you didn't over here. You still got the same team basically.
Yeah, I mean it's still the same team. Clearly, I don't got the rookie running back I got in this squad on this team, but and but it's basically the same team. I did get John Ross over there. It's I've made a couple trades to pick up some offensive players. I got picked up a lineman, a pretty good lineman, like 90 overall, and then I got John Ross. So, but overall, it's basically the same thing.
And that's boring
Oh,
as hell. Go ahead, OG. They gotta be boring. Like you ain't. You born. Go ahead,
um,
OG.
no, but my caddy, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you come from? I believe you came from the West branch, right? Because West was in the league with your cousin, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that.
Nah, the way I joined the league, I don't remember exactly how it was. I know I started off at AGT any given Thursday, and I ended up coming to AGS like I don't
Oh,
know
okay, okay,
shortly after that. But I don't even remember
okay.
how I ended up at AGT when it started.
And being that you in these leagues, and you don't really chat much, do you be reading the chats, and do you feel it's important to be engaging in these chat talks, and engaging as I'll call it virtual friends, if you may. Is that important?
I think it is, but honestly, I'm not in there much. Like if I'm not tagged, I'm not in the chat at all. Like if you ain't DMing me and I don't get tagged, I don't see it. If I get DM'd, I'll go read like the thread because typically, I'm sure you know, like if somebody tagged me, usually it's a conversation going on. So I might scroll back a little bit to catch up to what's going on. But like when I come home, if I don't see me getting tagged, I'm not opening up the Discord at all. So
I got one more. I got another funny question. I remember we invited you to the podcast last season, and you told me
Copy.
you wouldn't join because you didn't fuck with Weezy.
Weezy,
So
yeah.
why was that though? Why you didn't mess with
Like
Weezy?
I felt like Weezy was a troll, and I was like, I didn't want to go on, and I just didn't like Weezy, so I just didn't come on.
You see, Weezy,
You
you
know,
gotta stop that troll
it's
stuff,
a
man.
recurring theme that everybody think Wheezy ain't shit. Ain't that something?
Yeah,
He said that
actually,
was back then. He said
I,
back then. He ain't say that now.
yeah, because even now I thought about it, but I was like, honestly, when you asked this time, I started to say the same thing, but I was like, I don't even know why I think he a troll. And I was like, it was probably something fresh on my head when you asked before. But if I don't remember now, I'm just like, well, why not? So, because I really don't remember why I felt that way then, but I know I felt that way, and I know why I said it. I just can't remember the details on why I said it.
Yeah, but me overall, I think I have been better overall in the past year. So I probably was a troll last year to you,
Mm.
probably. But this year, like you said, this year I haven't said nothing to you. Like I haven't, you know what I'm saying? I haven't said nothing that was like, bro, why you fuck with me? I haven't said nothing. So you're right. I'm happy you thought about that because I haven't said nothing to you this year to think you a troll. I don't know what I said last year. I never really
I
played you enough to be a troll. Maybe I was talking shit to somebody else. I never played you. I never said load up, let's play or nothing. So I don't know.
maybe he see you
Nah,
getting at everybody.
I really
Yeah, it's
think
probably it.
I actually think the first time we played was yesterday. I don't remember. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe we did play before.
I never really trolled you. I never, yeah.
What
Started talking
who
shit to somebody.
who is a person that you hate to play, and who's a person that you feel like when you go in you can beat every time?
Um, I know one person, and I don't. He was in my division before. I didn't like playing T Hoyt. Um, and I mean, it's not anything bad against him. I just didn't like playing him because I'd get um, frustrated playing him because I really just felt like he had my number for a minute. Um, some people I like to play is uh, I kind of like in our division. Usually, like when you have division opponents, it's typically the people you look forward to playing because you're seeing them twice a year. If they ain't in your division, you don't even play them every year. So, like, I actually like playing Smitty for some reason. I don't know why, but I actually like the games that I played against Smitty, and
You like trading him too. But go ahead.
and like for some reason I don't like playing Robinson. I mean, I think so far me and him have played 4 times. I think 4 times. I think we like 2-2 in Madden 23, and but I don't. For some reason I don't really like playing him. And again, it's nothing personal against him. I uh,
He's
just don't
cheesing.
like it. I,
So listen, OG, don't cut me off. OG, you hear me?
Me?
OG, yeah,
Yeah.
don't cut me off.
Oh, go ahead.
My caddy.
but yeah, what's up?
So I found out why. I just found out why I was a troll to you. It all makes sense now.
Okay.
Last year, January 12th, 2021. Hey yo, what's up? What you doing, bro? Playing another league. If you would have did a wager, we could have got a free Xbox X. But since you didn't, it's your fault. So on that note, we brought you off the island AGS. What are you talking about? I said, you never do wages. He said, wages on what? I said, don't worry about it. You're not in the lines no more. Cause you can come back next man in like 2024. And then you said, nah, I'm done. I can address your childish ass. Why don't you talk to me like a grown man? He must not be 18. I have no idea what the fuck you talking about. Your silly ass give you some random shit. I
Yo,
had a conversation. I have a conversation with my 4-year-old son. I understand him better. I understand him better. Mama mouth asshole. What the fuck you talking about? I said, bro, why are
He
you so
called you mumble
mad?
mouth.
I'm reading this
Yeah,
and
I
look.
actually remember that now. You're right.
Hey,
I
look.
still don't know what the fuck you was talking about.
Hey, look.
Like,
He said, why you so mad? I said, just do a wager, bitch. I said, you don't understand. Use your Twitter. Write a story or something. And you, bro, you sent me this long and this long ass paragraph, and I just ignored that shit. God damn. I said, no,
yo,
everything
little
you,
little do you know that he'll break you into pieces. My caddy brolic, you better chill with that man.
hey, that motherfucker hey, he wrote a whole damn paragraph, and then at the end, he was like, long story short, he was like, now, why couldn't you just simply ask that question like that the first time?
But hey, before
Look,
we
oh hell no,
you
huh?
still going? You still going with the DM? Damn, you ratting. But
I said it made
but, but,
sense, and that was last January, so it made sense why he was mad.
but
Hey,
I want to get off football real quick, and I want to get no homo. I want to get Jay a little excited. So I remember you was telling the chat how you had two wives, right? And you was playing, living with both of them and all that. I mean, I don't know if you could talk about that. If you want to talk about that, if you can't, you could respectfully decline. But if you can, you can, give it the podcast a little detail on that.
I mean, yeah, I had a situation where I had two girlfriends. We all lived in the same house, all slept in the same bed. It was a situation I was in. I was living in Atlanta, and at the time, but like when I originally met them, I was single but dating both of them at the same time. And I'm a dude like I keep it 100. Like I don't be lying to girls and stuff. So they knew I was seeing them, and then I did like both of them, and I told both of them I was like, look, I'm feeling you, but I'm feeling this other girl too. One girl asked me hey, what the other girl looked like. I showed her a picture. She was like, damn, that bitch fine. Let's all three go out. We all three went out, and 2 months later, we was all sleeping in the same bed, and we lived together for 11 months. So
Mm.
it was what it was.
I don't lie. Who shit was better? I need names and Instagram.
Dog, you living in the crib, man. You chilling.
I'm gonna say
Texas
this. The truth is, I like both of them. So like I ain't gonna treat them like they hoes and shit. Like I like both of them. So I'm not gonna address which one I felt was better than
Ooh,
the other in
respect.
the area.
Well, let's
Gentlemen
okay.
like.
Well, let's get to the main part. So, how did
Wait,
y'all break up, or more so, like, why did y'all break up? Like, how did y'all end it? Like, so one day y'all woke up was like, how did
Nah,
that?
Now the truth is, the problem with that, like on paper, it was a perfect situation because both of them look good, and like one was making great money, one of them, took care of the house. So I mean, it was a great. But the issue was, um, it's more. I don't know how to say like the relationship between. Okay, think about it like this: they would be jealous of each other. So like if I come home from work one day and I kiss one first, the next day I gotta kiss the other one first. Or when you give them presents, they
Ah.
can't be the same thing, but one can't be better than the other. And even like in the bedroom, if you I don't know how to say this, if you finish on one day, the next day you got to finish on the other. Like everything has to be balanced, and it don't really work like that because it's like I got to think about this stuff, in the moment, and it's just it became frustrating. And like so even breaking up with him was hard because it's like I still
So
like
how you
both of
break
them.
up with them? So how you break? Because 11 months, that's almost a year. So you kind of like in love or
Yeah,
lusting. So like, how you break up with them? And I'm saying, how did you end it?
yeah. Keep in mind, it wasn't like one day. It was more like, several months into the relationship, I'm pointing out how this is a problem. And then, they're like, well, when you say it to them, they're like, yeah, that's kind of silly. And, even when they talking to their friends and family, they're like, yeah, that's kind of silly. Like you shouldn't be tripping. Like really, if he feeling you, why you worried about this? But, and it's like having that same conversation, consistently, at some point I was just like, this is just not going to work because for me, it's frustrating. For me, it's literally very, very frustrating because I'm not trying to what's the word, hurt nobody's feelings or make somebody feel inferior, make one think that he not as good as the other in any area. because even the stuff that I talked about, you also got to keep in mind that, like I say, one of them was making really good money and the other one wasn't working. So both of them felt inadequate to the other in that sense. What I mean by that is there was one that stayed home, cooked every day, kept the house clean. And the other one that made money felt like she wasn't contributing, so she'd be trying to do it. But then when she would be trying to help out around the house, then the other one felt like she trying to step on her foot and take away from her. And then the other one, the one that stayed home, felt like she wasn't contributing financially. But the truth is, they that wasn't a big deal because we were more than straight financially. So her not contributing financially wasn't a big deal, but she felt like it was. So it's just dealing with those things, and it was just a build up over time. It wasn't like after 11 months I was just like, this ain't working out. It was like a conversation on a regular basis. I don't know how often, we'll just say like monthly, like starting like month 2, and just doing that consistently and not seeing any progress in the relationship. It just got to the point to where I was just like, this is just not gonna work out. And the real bad, what was even worse after that though was I still like both of them, and both of them still wanted to be with me, but I didn't want to be with the other one because it would hurt either one that I was with. It would hurt the other one because they'd be like, see, I knew he liked her more than me. So I literally ended up with neither one of them, even though I probably should have, because I feel like I put their feelings ahead of my own, because I would have preferred to be with one of them as opposed to neither one of them. So
Mm.
So if you had to give advice or say like or preferably to Jay, 'cause Jay's really he's thinking about this hard.
You think
Would
about
would
Jay.
would you would you tell him it's worth it, and what advice you would give him before he tries to pursue this option?
No,
make sure, I think mentally, I think the issue with that in my situation is I think a situation like that can work, but mentally they can't be jealous of each other or envious. And I don't, and if you don't have that and everybody understands and that it's like a three-way relationship, I think it can work out. It depends on the girls and him too, but just the mentality in the relationship between all three of y'all together is the issue, because you do have to understand, like, nobody's perfect, and if you're in a relationship you're gonna have issues. That's, I think everybody know that's a given. Anybody in a relationship know that for a fact. And when you bringing two people in the situation, those things are magnified because like you get two people not liking one or the other. It just is it's a bad thing. But I do think it can work. I just think that all three people have to be in sync with each other for it to work.
well,
You
my
you
caddy, I don't
okay,
mean to
sorry.
burst your bubble and everything, but everything you just said would never happen to Jay because y'all situations are different. First off, this
Oh my
motherfucker's
god.
married and got kids, but
Yeah, you
you
an
was not married to them women.
asshole.
You don't have kids with them, so Jay just living in a fantasy. You actually did something he want to do. Jay's married, has 2 kids with his wife. He would never have another woman in his
It's
goddamn life.
possible. It's
So
possible. It's
let's
possible.
let's just end that fucking
Hey,
fantasy.
hey, my caddy, you are a very interesting man, right? You also, right, wrote a couple
Mm-hmm,
books. And
mm-hmm,
I wish
yeah,
you spoken in the chat more because you're very knowledgeable and you got a lot to say. And like, it doesn't seem like it because you don't really speak in the chat. But like, you wrote a couple books, right?
yeah.
If you may, when we get this all sorted out, we'll have those books on the screen. If you want to talk about some of those books you wrote and give a little background on them.
Yeah, with the books, I started, the first one was just because honestly more laziness, because I work in real estate, and it's a speech I usually give people that want to sell their house, and it's like the same thing I say to people over and over. And honestly, for me to say everything, it would literally take 30, 45 minutes. I just got to the point to where I was like, I'm gonna just put it all down in a book, and then I'm gonna give them the book and just tell them what parts they need to look at. So it was more me being lazy than anything, because I got tired of doing that, and it was saving me time. In other words, in terms of what, like when I'm doing those listing appointments. The other ones were more like me giving advice, because one thing I've done for a real long time, like when I lived in Atlanta, I don't do it. I live in Tucson, Arizona now, but when I lived in Atlanta, what I used to do was I would kind of coach people on like building generational wealth, and I have my reasons for that, because I think everybody should understand money, and because once you understand it, it's easy to make. But it the other ones came out of those conversations, and me just writing down thoughts over time, and so the other books just kind of evolved out of that, um more on the real estate side. But I really, it was more like I just talk about money, real estate all day, every day, and it was kind of easy just to write down my thoughts and put them in a book. Because when I write the books, what I do is, because honestly, when it comes to writing, in terms of uh, how do I say, like structured writing. In other words, like writing in sentences and periods. I actually suck at that. I'm horrible at it. I was bad at it in school. My sister used to write most of my papers in school. I would write what I want to say and they would fix it. So like with my writing, it's kind of like that. Like I write down everything I want to say and then I give it to an editor and they put it in the format that you see in the books that I had. And but really the books are just my thoughts and it was more just me saying stuff so I wouldn't have to verbalize it as much as I do. Because, like I said, that's what I do all day, every day. Because it's more me trying to help other people. Because, I just feel like I just wish. Okay, just to say why I do the like in terms of the coaching and stuff that I do is more. I wish that people in our culture worried more about building generational wealth because that's how you get what it is that you want out of life. And what I mean by that is a lot of stuff we talk about in terms of, you know, us being discriminated. When I say us, I'm referring to black people being discriminated against is more because we don't have the political power that we have. That if you build your finances and start businesses, then you can use that power to put people in political positions, and
Repeat
which is the second
it one
step.
more
And
time.
then once you, huh?
Say it again. Say it again.
What I was saying is, if we as a people stop worried about being consumers and worried about building your generational wealth, you start businesses and you build your generational wealth. That's how you start. You have the power, the financial power, to put people in political positions. The first step is start businesses. The second step is put people in political positions. Once you put people in political positions, now you have people in positions of power that can say what you want. All the stuff that we complain about and all the laws that we've complained about over the generations and centuries. Now you have people in position that can dictate what you want. And this is not just on an individual level. In other words, like put it like this: if I got everybody in the city of Atlanta to do what I'm talking about, that would help the city of Atlanta. But you got to do this everywhere, and then do it on a federal level as well. But the point is that was kind of like the start me doing my part because me as one person, it ain't like I can do everything. But the truth is, most people get caught in the indoctrination. And what I mean by that is like, K through 12, the basic education teaches you how to work for someone else. You become indoctrinated. So you want to, your goal is to make X amount of dollars per hour to make money, but that's not how you make money. If you're trading your time for money, because y'all talked about, I don't know which one of y'all said this, but one of y'all talked about Robert Kiyosaki book that he wrote, and he talks about that. It's like trading your time for money is not the way to make money. You're never going to make money working for someone else because if you think about a business is in business to make a profit. Profits equal assets minus liabilities. Anybody who works for somebody else, you're never going to get paid what you're worth. What you do for them is an asset. Like if you work for Burger King, you flip burgers, and you making honestly, I don't know what minimum wage is, but we're gonna just say it's $15 an hour, and they selling Whoppers for $5 a piece, and you make three Whoppers an hour. I guarantee you're gonna get fired because they ain't making no money off you. You need to be popping out 20, 30 Whoppers an hour so that they can make a profit, or else they're gonna get rid of your ass. And that's just how business works. So when you understand that simple fact, and when you understand money and how to make money, because once you understand, I think what the message that I sent to y'all was it's not just reading the books, is applying what they say. Because like if you read the book, like think about it like this. If we're talking about health and you want to get a six pack, lose weight, or whatever you want to do, and I tell you what to eat, how to work out, and to give you the formula to get that six pack you want, but you still eating cheeseburgers and you ain't going to the gym or however you choose to work out, you're gonna still be fat. So you can know what to do. You just need to apply it. And honestly, making money is easy, and there's enough money for everybody out there. And you
Yeah,
know,
damn. If, if,
it,
let me, I just want to say, if you was as good as Madden as you do talking, man, you'd be
Here this
fucking
guy go,
nice.
man.
God damn it, man, you are so fucking knowledgeable, man. Man,
Yeah,
you are.
I
Whew.
def got a question because you made a good point about the political positions of power and things like that. Usually they say people in our color of skin don't like to vote because there's never anybody of our color to vote for. But then you have those, and I'm gonna take it back, even though I was not eligible to vote at the time. Obama.
Mama.
Obama is half white, half black, and people black people think he didn't do much as a president, but they don't understand how the law actually works. So let's say we take, just a city government and try to like turn it into something better as a group of people. What are the steps that they can take to win that political power? Is there somebody that they talk to run for the position? Is it just that they get behind that one person based on their values and their skin? Like what is that process in your opinion?
Well, I'm gonna say three things. The first thing I'm gonna do to address your question is, and this is one thing I tell people a lot. A lot of people argue the fact when it comes to political things that, um, because your choices are not in your favor. Yeah, the politicians are not catering to you, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so think about it like this. If you vote, and this is something that I've been saying for a very long time, and I don't get a lot of people who feel me until I say this, and I wish more people would understand this. Think about it like this: the politicians are trying to get a job. Okay, so being a pilot, whatever it is, I don't care if it's Senate, I don't care if it's the House, I don't care if it's state level, federal level, even the presidency. They're trying to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't vote, they don't give a fuck what you say, because why am I going to cater to you, whoever you are, if you're not going to vote for me and help me get this job? So the
Mm-hmm.
thing I tell people is this: vote. And it doesn't matter who you vote for. And what I mean by that is, if you vote, they're going to know that you, as a black male, whatever age you are, voted. If
Mm-hmm.
100%, put it like this: if 100% of people voted, even if you write in your dog, your cat, whatever, you write in your mom or whatever for whatever seat, they're going to know you voted. What's going to happen is, and I promise you this: the
Mm-hmm.
next election, like let's say 100% of the black people voted.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you the next election, every politician is going to talk about reparations and anything else that we care for, because they know we voting, and they know that the last time you voted for Fifi, your little dog, as opposed to who was running. You would rather your dog be in that position than whoever was running. So I'm gonna give you what you want, so you put me there. That's what would end up happening. But if you say, okay, I'm not gonna vote, then they're just like, okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna cater to the people who are out here voting. And you know, the thing I do want to say, like when you go back to Obama, is that another thing. This is something that people say, and I know you didn't address this, but I know it's something that a lot of people say. So somebody hearing this is going to think this. They'll say, well, number one, the president doesn't have real power, which is true. He does answer to somebody. He does have certain
Mm-hmm.
itinerary that he must abide to. But the one thing you have to understand, the president does have leeway to do what it is that he wants to do. He still has to stick to an agenda, but he can do what he wants to do. If you think about it like this, it is not an accident that, okay, understand, number one, the Bush family made their money in oil. They were billionaires before they became president, the elder one and the younger one,
Mm-hmm.
and they made their money in oil. It's not an accident that we went across the ocean to steal oil from countries to help out their family and their friends. That's not an accident. It's not an accident that it happened when they were president.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump made his money in real estate. I happen to work in real estate. I know, I can tell you, and I guarantee you, anybody hearing this knows anybody who works in real estate, whether it's mortgage, whether it's an agent, whether it's an investor. Everybody I know in real estate made more money when Donald Trump was president than they had ever before. Like people who've been in real estate 40 years, 30, 20, 30, 40 years. And that's not an accident. He did that intentionally. I personally don't like Donald Trump, but he made me a ton of money. I still don't like him, but he helped my bank account. But the point is that, you know, the president can do certain things, and even on the federal level in the House and Senate, and even on the state level and local level, you know, to do the changes you want, literally vote and tell everybody to vote, because they will cater to you. If somebody doesn't have what you want now, and you did say put people in positions. In other words, I think you mentioned, like, can you elect somebody? The answer is yes. I actually know somebody here in Tucson. She's a friend of mine, and she actually ran this election that we just had this month, early a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it was because the reason she ran was it's a personal thing to her. Her son has autism. He didn't get they didn't get the help they needed. She didn't like how the system was, so she said she was going to run to try to help people like her. My point is that you can do that. But again, to do that, you have to go back, and this kind of goes back to what I was saying before. That's not the first step. The first step is to go back and have people back them. In other words, so you have to have something underneath that person for a foundation. In other words, they're going to need money to run. They're going to need a platform. So, like, if I run a business, and I could help this person get elected by putting them in power. And then, and with that, like, so if I run a business and I help them get elected, they're gonna help me. They're gonna help my business. They're gonna help me personally. um, but the point is, to do that, you do need to start the foundation, which is what I was talking about, which is generating the businesses that's generating the financial part of that. So the you picking somebody to run is the second step. That's but the first step is to get the financial backing for that person.
Do you have like a YouTube channel, or like you know me personally, I think you should create your own podcast where you could have this platform where you could actually speak upon these things maybe on a weekly basis, because this needs to be heard. Seriously, this is like this your knowledge needs to be heard, whether it be on a YouTube channel, podcast, on a weekly basis, because yes, uh, you wrote you have written books, which we didn't get the names of. I hope you name the names of the books in it after I finish speaking here. But if you we in 2023 about to be, if you put this on the internet where it could be heard, because a lot of this new generation likes to hear things or see things through video physically or whatever. If you can do that, I think the message will be heard loud and clear, or reach out to a little bit more of the masses of the people that's out there.
Um, the answer to your question is I actually started two. One was actually for fitness. And the other one was real estate based. My issue was, and I had said this before I even started them to the people I was talking to. My issues were that I didn't. Um, to do what you're saying, you got to be consistent and you got to put the time up. Honestly, I just didn't put the time into it, and I wasn't consistent. Even with both of them, I would film uh, my channels like weeks in advance. The fitness one actually did better than the real estate one, but the real estate one wasn't talking about what we're talking about right now. It was more talking about real estate. How to the market, and things like that. It wasn't talking about what I was speaking on just now. So it wasn't as political and stuff like that. I do feel like I do agree with you in the sense that if I did that, I think it would help. There are reasons why I wouldn't be as outspoken as I would want to be, and I would have to censor myself. And that's more of a political thing. And just to keep it 100, if somebody was to say everything that I wanted to say on the subject, um, to put it as as the best way I can, they would become a target. I enjoy my anonymity and being under the radar. Uh, because if you get too big of a following, what happens is you literally become a target. I don't want to be that.
Oh yeah, I get what you say, but that's what you can use
I
Weezy for. Weezy don't
I
give a hell about
definitely
them things.
I definitely get what he mean by that. I think that's like, it's not like imposter syndrome, but it just feels bad when you're like, you feel like you're being nitpicked with 24/7. It's just a weird
Hmm.
feeling. It's a very weird feeling.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah,
I
and
gotta
and
agree. You a very knowledgeable dude. I didn't Going into this episode, I didn't think we was gonna learn this much, but I love it.
but
What's the name of your books though? You never mentioned the name of your book, so that way the listeners and the people in the chat, they could also jot it down. And for 15 extra points attribute, you gotta listen to this and DM me, Weezy or Scream. What books?
This
What's the
does
name of
not
his
count for
books?
points. We are not allowed to give points out. Weezy said, "Earn your damn
No.
points." No, Weezy
Oh
is
man.
sticking to it. He's earn your damn points.
Well, it's Christmas and Weezy's not gonna bring you in today, so we're gonna do that. So go ahead, Mike Caddy. What's the name of your books?
how to sell your home for more money, how to sell enlisted homes. Then I have um, how to. I'm trying to. I don't. I'm trying to get the names right because I know I'm sitting up there. writing them off the top of my head. Um, uh, grow grow your real estate portfolio, and that's only three. I'm missing two. I'm trying to. I don't remember the name, the titles of the other two, but one of them I can tell you the topics of them. I'm gonna have to Jake put it in the chat and send it to y'all because I really don't remember the name of them because I wrote I wrote them like the last one I wrote was like 8 years ago. The first one I
You,
wrote was 15 years ago.
you need another one called "How to Be with Two Women." That won't sell. Jay would definitely buy that shit.
Yeah,
It's
make sure
cat,
you
That's
man.
send.
funny.
Make sure you can have your name and stuff, you know, Arthur and everything.
Yeah,
You
but
said what?
yeah,
What you said, Weezy?
Just make sure he send it so we can have it. Like you know how look for the author for his name.
Oh, all you gotta
yeah,
do is
I'll do
look for a
that.
brolic dude. You know, he's on the
He
cover.
said look for a Rollick dude.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but
You say you do fitness. You say you do fitness as well.
yeah. The YouTube channel I had
God,
was like being
God damn,
was it
you
was
into
being fit
everything.
over 40. It was a yeah. I started being fit over 40, and like honestly, I'm 50 now. So if I started it back up, I'd have to change to be fit
Wait,
over being
wait,
fit over
wait,
40.
wait, wait, wait. You
this
said you
motherfucker
50 years old?
50.
You ain't no
Yeah,
50 years old. You come on, you kid. You're lying, man.
He always said he was older though. He always said that.
I didn't think he was 50 years old. He looks like we see. I see him in
But
on his Instagram. He look young
it
as
makes
hell.
sense now. It makes sense to what he was saying. He says eye coordination is starting to fall off. Motherfucker eyes getting a little. It makes sense. It makes sense.
honestly, the whole I think I say that my wife plays Madden too, and she says
What?
that's what's happening to her.
She better
Yeah,
than
she
you?
um. I ain't gonna comment on that, but I mean, I'm
Yeah,
gonna say
she
like
better
this.
than you.
Yeah, she be playing
She
your game for you. She be playing your game for you.
Here he go
I
with
said
that
he
no,
be
Know
shit.
you.
winning.
Yeah.
I say like this. She
Know
has
you,
beat me
bro.
before, but
Oh hell nah,
and it's funny. I do want to say though, some people be like, well, she was playing before she ever met me, so I did get her into CFMs though. She wasn't playing CFMs till she met me, but she was playing before she ever met me. Like matter of fact, when I met her, it was a year Peyton Hillis was on the cover, and I came
man.
and I went to her house, and I was like, "You play Madden? What the fuck?" She was like, "Yeah," and we actually played, and she beat my ass. So yeah, I was like, "Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's up."
Oh, so should be you playing for your games when you play Trenton. Them makes sense now.
Ah, here he goes. See,
Makes sense.
Yo, I'm dying. He said, "Yo, would you ever bring your wife to AGS? Nah, it's probably too ruthless. Don't do that. Never
And
mind."
we've actually talked about it, but she in two leagues too, and it's like she just don't want to join no more leagues. But we've talked about it before. Like
But
you were any leagues? You were any leagues with her?
no. We were before, but I ended up leaving the other leagues. And matter of fact, when I joined AGT, I was leaving one of the leagues that I was in with her, and then I left the other one.
I
And
remember you telling me that.
yeah, but we she almost joined. I was in Soden. I don't know if y'all familiar with Soden. I was in Soden, and
Yeah, so
she
then
was
yeah.
she wanted to join Soden just because she liked some of the things that they were doing, but she just didn't want to take on another league. So
Mm. You probably left the
but
league she was in because she was doing better than you. Don't lie. Don't lie.
no, you know what? I would actually like her to be in the league, other leagues that I'm in, because it's we number one, like she's a Vikings fan. She's from Minnesota, and so she's a Vikings fan. So we like playing each other, and we talk trash when we play each other a lot. So uh, like
That
we're
must be
literally
interesting.
playing each other and yelling down the hall, while we playing each other. Like she has this thing when she's doing well, she do like an Ice Cube imitation, being like yeah yeah, and she does that like all the time.
That's fire. That's
So
fire.
I actually like playing her though. She cool.
That's fire. You lose. You lose. You probably get no cutty,
I
huh?
wish. Well, we ain't gonna speak on that, but that ain't no part of Madden. So I just say that.
So real quick, just to wrap it all up, what I'm saying, if there was any advice, what I'm saying, anything advice, any single advice you could give to people out there, whether it be in the chat, me, Screen, Weezy, whoever, what advice would you give us, like on a personal level?
That's actually easy. It's the thing that I was telling y'all last week was like y'all were talking about reading, which I think is a really good thing. I think is really, really important because, trying to grow and educate yourself and grow and be better is really important. But but what I would want to say is when you do that, implement what you're saying. So like the books that y'all talk about, implement what it is that you are doing. Like take the steps. Like, and because, me saying that honestly came out of some frustration because there's people in the league who have hit me up about making money. And I told them, all you gotta do is hit me up. We can sit down and talk. And it's two people, and they's like, yeah, we're gonna hit you up. It's been over a year, and they still ain't hit me up. And if they hear this, I want them to know that actually
We
pissed
need
me off.
names. We
Right.
need names. We need names.
I ain't gonna say no names and put them on blast. I ain't gonna say they was in my division last year. Both of them was in my division last year, so that'll
Oh,
narrow it
that
down
means
drastically.
Ayon Fitz. Ayon Fitz.
But
Speaking of money, remember that one time you gave about $1,000? Please bless us. Hey,
wait, hold on. I do want to say about that. That's real funny because for Thanksgiving, I told my wife I was because I didn't tell her I did that last year. It was just something I did because honestly, I was just feeling the Christmas spirit and was like, fuck it. Um, and I never said how much. I guess the person who got it probably said how much it was, but I did. It made me feel better mainly because the person I sent it to, they were so appreciative. I was actually gonna do it to more people this year, like just the same amount, but to a group of people, like
Eh,
everybody who
eh,
put
eh,
their cash app in there.
don't forget OG because I'm not in the chat no more, man. Just don't forget OG, the little OG over here. Oh, and you definitely did look out for T Hoy too when his house when he got in that tornado accident. So shout out to you for that too because you definitely looked out for him as well.
Yeah. But I do want to say when I told my wife about it, she was like, "Nah, you can't do that." I was just like, "What?" And I was just
man,
like,
next time don't tell her. Shit, you didn't tell her last year. Keep
Tell
the
her-
same
And
tradition.
that's why
Don't
your
tell her.
ass ain't
It,
married
it ain't gonna
now.
hurt. Hey, look,
I was just,
if you don't tell her, it ain't gonna hurt her. So keep that same tradition. You know what I'm saying?
Man, hey, look, it's hard to keep finances from your woman, though, man. That's stuff you got to talk about. I'm with my caddy on that one.
If they got different bank accounts, they'll never know. G, and she ain't on this cash app. I mean, how she gonna know if it's different? And listen, it's kind of like the dude. Long story short, like the dude who told himself he kept going to the bank every day. Remember that one dude? He kept stealing money from the bank between 1 a.m. to 3. He told himself. Anybody know that story?
I
Nah.
don't know nothing
Anybody?
about it.
Yeah, I'll send y'all the link. But the dude, he's going to the bank every day for a couple of years between 1 a.m. to 3. He kept taking out money. Eventually he felt guilty and he told himself. He told the bank he went to jail for a whole year. He didn't get caught. He told himself.
Mm.
So if you got a different bank account for your wife, how she gonna know what you're doing unless you say, "Hey, babe, I just gave some random niggas on the game $1,000." Nigga, she wouldn't have knew unless you told her. It's a guilt thing. I mean, I get what Keith's saying. I'm not gonna hold him, but if y'all have not saying you per se, my caddy, but if y'all have a different bank account and she not on your phone, how the fuck she gonna know you gave a girl you met $1,000 on Cash App? She only gonna know if you told her.
He ain't say
Now,
girl,
if I got
man.
the
Don't
same
get him in
bank,
trouble, dog. Don't get him in trouble
wait,
now.
it's true. Now, if they got the same bank, who the fuck is Keisha at 54321? Okay, you got caught. You're a
Hey,
dumbass.
she might listen to this. Why you keep it? He's giving random users in the league, not no women. Jesus Christ.
Wheezy is the
I
worst
do
Try
want
to
to
cop of
say
all
like
time. I just want to know that.
last year
Huh?
didn't nobody know what I was doing. It was just like I literally all I did was say put your cash app up, and then I just said the first person
It,
who responded
it
I
was
sent it.
JaVale. Yeah, it was JaVale. But I'm gonna definitely send y'all the link about the dude who was going to the
Hey,
bank every day. One of
but if you
three.
do decide to do that again, listen, don't forget about little OG. See, I'm a free
Yeah.
agent. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the chat no
Just
more.
just don't tell your wife
He
this
gonna
time. She ain't.
lie. He gonna love this free agent wave until this shit die. I want y'all to know that.
but yeah, yeah, my shit on Call of Duty is free agent. But yeah, hey, my cat, how long you been married though? Real quick, I know we trying to wrap up, but I want to know how long you been married for.
Um, 3 years. I met her in 2011, but it's only been 3 years since we've been married.
Oh, so this is fresh.
Yeah.
Oh, still the honeymoon stage.
And like I said, I've known her since 2000. We met in 2011, so it's been a minute. It just took a minute for me to pop the question. That's all.
Oh, how'd you do that?
Uh, it was just we went on a cruise and it was supposed to just be me and her, and I sent for her sister who lives in Minnesota. We live in Tucson, obviously. Her sister lives in Minnesota. She got a aunt and some cousins who live in Phoenix, and I paid for them to come. She didn't even know that they were there. And then
God damn.
so when we
You
went out, to dinner on a boat. Then they showed up, and she was like, "Where y'all come from?" And then pop question. That's how I did it.
yeah. Listen, you need to change your name from MyCaddy to My Tesla because you got Tesla now. And
Yeah, I
but
got that last year. So yeah.
hey, Mike Hattie, it was very, very, very great to have you on the show. It was very great to have you here to express yourself because you don't really do it in the chat, so the people can get to know you. I'm pretty sure they're gonna engage with you way more now that you like told your story, told us about yourself, your books, your two women, and we look forward to keep having you on AGS because we do consider you an OG. We do consider you family, even though it's a virtual thing. We always say that everybody, all 32 users, are virtual family whether they looked at it upon it as that or not. But we definitely appreciate you for joining us on the show and for putting your beef aside with Weezy and even joining us because you didn't do it last time. So
Sure.
we appreciate that and thank you so much for your information. And we hope that you can give us those links so we could drop them. We'll get the pictures of your books on here as well, and keep passing that knowledge, brother. And please do a YouTube channel so that way you can spread it to the masses and get your voice heard because it needs to be heard with your information.
Well, thanks a lot. Appreciate all the love. Thanks a lot, people.
So, my cat, appreciate you for coming through, my brother.
All right. Talk to y'all later.
Love, peace,
Hey,
and blessings.
My cat, I just sent you the DM about the dude I was saying who took the money and he told it himself. So when you get a chance, you'll read it. It's pretty. He's a dumbass for telling on himself.
Okay. Damn, 1.6 million. I'm gonna have to read that like that. Okay. All
Crazy.
right. All right.
We out of here, y'all.
Hey, to all the listeners, we hope you enjoyed that very informative podcast. And you know what? I like this because it's when you have new people who don't really speak and they get to be themselves in a I guess on a platform. I think that's what I like doing this for real, for real. I like
Yeah,
doing this with you guys because
that was very, very informative. Again, like I told him, I didn't think I was gonna learn that much, but some of that stuff he said, like he said, you got to execute and apply to keep moving forward, and I think that's the statement for the whole episode when you think about it.
and stop being spoiled. You know what I'm saying? Because it's basically that's basically what he's saying. We gotta man, he's a good dude. Him being so quiet and you see him, he's so ripped up. You like, nah, he's scary. But he do got the Mike Tyson voice. But shout out to him. Um, but yeah, this week was very great. Thank you
Yeah,
guys.
it'll be no
Wheezy
wager
and
points
Scream.
given out this week. Y'all
Damn,
motherfuckers didn't learn how to fucking just listen sometimes and comprehend and
you really gonna be Grinch?
listen. This is
He's not
this
joking
was
about that, bro. He was dead serious.
a good podcast, bro. This is a good podcast. I feel like
Nah,
it's
it really was. It really was.
something to learn. You know what I'm saying?
But this is why I feel like i- if they listen to it, you give out the wager points because this one they need to listen to it. Like
You not shut up.
That's
so
all we
what?
got this week, y'all. They can argue that by themselves. We'll
Hey,
catch y'all
Scream,
next
you one and
episode.
two, Wheezy's 1 and 2, and Fitz is 0 and 3, and I'm out.
He's
You
childish
waiting
for
to
that one. He
you
waited
waiting
to
to say
the end to
that
say
the
that.
whole
Yeah, I'm
time.
out of here. This
You
guy.
waiting to say